Today we're in Varanasi, India, and we're going to explore this city in my favorite way. It's going to be a day of street food. Good morning from one of the oldest cities in the world, Varanasi. Now, it is originally called Kashi. In Hindi, they call it Varanas, but you might know it as Varanasi, the English name. Now here, a lot of people come at night, they do a boat tour of the Ghats, but it's also known to have great street food influenced by its neighbors in Bihar and West Bengal. And so instead of going to an archaeological site today, I've decided I want to explore the city. We're going to eat lots of street food. Our first stop is for a very typical breakfast dish, and it's 10 o'clock. I've heard it's only available until 10, and we're going to be arriving a little bit late, so I hope that we can get it. But in the morning here, it's very cool. You've got shade in these alleyways, these roads, and it's still quite quiet. Most of the people just do a little beep beep like that. But people are out on the street, but it's very calm. Scratch that. All of that peacefulness that we had on the inside has been changed with chaos as we left that cool, calm area. Now we're out on the open streets. It is loud, it's hot. We're in front of a lot of garbage for some reason. Yeah, this city is a lot of things. All right, so we're starting off the day with a street food that is just for breakfast. It's called chakori. Now, chakori is a deep fried snack, sweet, spicy, and it's just made from flour, ghee, and jaggery. But what makes it so special is that you put different things inside it. So you'll get a dal, or maybe you'll get some minced meat in some areas. This one is vegetarian. I found this spot. It is called Nilu Kachori Bahari. I'll write it down below. Anyway, there's lots of places around here to get it, but I heard this one is particularly good. So you've got, you know, that deep fried goodness, and then I can see in it some lentils. We've got some spices. It smells amazing. Tamarind chutney. So good. It's sweet and spicy, but also it has fresh herbs in it. It's so good. Now, we got here at 10:15, and they were just frying the last of them, and now they're packing up. So I would definitely recommend getting in before 10 a.m., maybe even coming around 9. This road starts to get very busy, but what's nice about it is it's actually in one of the smaller alleys, so it's still very cool, lots of life, lots of color. This is such a great way to start the day in Varanasi. All right, that was fantastic. The next place we're headed to is probably one of the most famous in the city. It's called Blue Lassi. Now, I was excited because I thought maybe they made blue lassis, but that's not true. It's just that the shop is an iconic blue, but it's been around for 75 years, 3 generations, and there is a drink there that I have been wanting to try since I got to India, and finally it's gonna happen. All right, next up we are at Blue Lassi, which is one of the most popular shops here. And they make lassi. They don't make a blue lassi, they just make a lot of different types of flavors. Now, the type that I actually wanted was called a thandai, which normally you eat at Holi. Unfortunately, they don't have it. But they have so many different types of lassi. They have a menu you can flip through. They have their recommendations in bold, but you can get it with any fruit. You can get chocolate banana. I got pomegranate coconut. It has some green pistachios on top. Now, a lassi is a yogurt-based drink, and I think one of the most delicious, but also one of the healthiest things to have, a good excuse to have it every day, because it's a yogurt-based drink, and that means it's good for your gut, it's good for digestion. It will really help you have kind of a better stomach every day. It's a little bit sweet, but you can also get it salty. This is a great stop, only 90. 90,000 rupees. 90 rupees. Only 90 rupees, not 90,000. That would be a very expensive lassi. Now, I will say when you get here, I think it's always busy, very popular. If you want to get photos or anything, you have to get in line because this place is also so popular with locals. Everybody wants to get in their Instagram reel, their YouTube video. Just be patient. That was a great visit, but definitely very busy. I think one of the things that really detracted from it is that so many motorbikes were going down, and because there's a big crowd, they were also just laying on the horn. So my suggestion is if you get it and maybe go around the corner so you can enjoy it in peace, because I feel like it was just a lot of horns all the time. We are looking for a chai spot that I found that Google will not take us to the right place. And that's because Google gives the names in English, but a lot of the signs are in Hindi. And then also they give street numbers. It said it was number 56 and that's number 19. They also said this one is across the street from the post office. But we can't find a post office. We still have not found tea. I don't even know if you can hear this because the honking is insane. So Alan was saying he thinks it's worse than Delhi, and I would agree. But also I feel like we just stopped at this little tea spot. Alan's getting coffee, and I'm going to drink all of this water because the heat here is really dry, and I just feel like I'm getting dehydrated. I feel a little bit like heat sick. So we're just gonna sit. I gotta have this water. He's gonna have a coffee, and then we're still trying to find this one place on this street because everywhere else that is on my list is a couple kilometers away. All right, we were so lucky. That little coffee shop place saved me. I drank a whole bottle of water and I went from being like dehydrated, probably sunsick, to finally revived, or at least revived. And also the man who owned the shop showed us where to get this tea. And so the reason we couldn't find it was there was no front shop. You actually have to come down this little alleyway, and here we are. So this place is known to have chai, but also Malai toast. So Malai is cream. You get it on chai or you get it on lassi on the top. And what they do is they just take toast, it's toasted over hot coals, and then they put butter on top. You know, getting here was really an adventure, and in a lot of my previous videos, I've always just shown you arriving. But in India and moving forward, I want to really show you in between the scenes of sometimes getting this toasted chai. Yeah, it's hard work. I don't know if it's good because I'm exhausted, but you get that charcoal flavor, and then it's just creamy and a little bit sweet. You can also get just butter. They put lots of butter on, and then also some sugar. So a little bit like cinnamon toast. It's just really nice, and it's so cool in here, and we're far away from those honking horns. They also serve in these little teacups, which is not common. Usually you get it in paper. Good morning, guys. So, had to call it yesterday. The chai and the Malai toast was fantastic, but I was exhausted. I don't know if it was the night train or just this intense dry heat, lack of water, or all of the incessant honking, but I couldn't do it. So came back, had a nap. Last night we had an amazing tour along the river in Varanasi. Seeing that at night was fantastic. But then this morning, we also woke up at sunrise for a sunrise tour because There are also a number of rituals that happen in the morning. A lot of Indians believe that if you get up at 3:45 before sunrise, that you will have a better start to the day, that you can focus on all of your goals. And a lot of people come down to the river and actually bathe there. So that was a fantastic experience. And we're up early. And so we have a couple of hours before we head to Agra. So we wanted to check out a few more dishes that I couldn't get to yesterday. Fortunately, we're staying central, and so there are a couple that are supposed to be close, very delicious. I'm trying to catch another breakfast dish from this area. All right, so when Dee told me there'd be some just outside our spot, I didn't realize just outside was relative. Still looking for them. I see people eating fruit. The problem is, actually, we found in Varanasi not a lot of people speak English. So to ask, even if I say littis, a lot of people, I won't be pronouncing it right, so they probably won't understand. So we can't find choka. Everyone says, no, it's not around here. So they said it's at least 2 kilometers, but we were told it was close. So I don't understand, maybe people just don't know. Maybe we're not on the right corner. But this reminds me of yesterday trying to get the tea. We thought we'd pop out because this is a quick breakfast, and now it's getting later in the day. I don't know if people eat it after breakfast. All right, so our friend who owns the shop, I guess, I don't know, everyone thought we wanted a dosa, and we're going to show the other guy the picture of what we want so that they know as well. Oh, we found it. Oh my God. All right, so that guy was so nice. Alan tried to give him like a thank you, and he wouldn't accept it. Also, I tried to give him that dosa that we ordered and didn't eat, and he said no. And then the shop owner actually said if we weren't going to eat it, he wasn't going to charge us either.
What I learned today is never judge the book from the cover.
Yeah, because I thought he was looking for like a tip.
And I don't get it today.
Yeah.
It's very useful.
Yeah.
And it's real. It's
Yeah.
what, like karma said.
Yeah.
What you do and what you get.
Yeah.
You get what you pay.
All right, so this probably was one of the most difficult breakfasts to get here in Varanasi. But it was also such an adventure. And while a lot of people like to go to museums or they like to go to archaeological sites, I actually think sometimes when you're in search of great street food, that's what takes you down the small alleys where you talk to people, where you learn great things about people. Not everyone is always trying to get something from you or looking for a tip or looking for you to buy something. So let's talk about this dish. This is bati choka. And so what it is it's actually like a wheat ball, and it is fried, and then on the inside you can see it also has a filling of different spices. Sometimes I've heard that it has chickpea in it, but it's very crunchy on the outside, still warm. And then at the very end, this is optional, although he didn't ask us because we don't share a common language, they dip it in ghee, which is clarified butter. Then on the side what you have is this mash, and this mash has potato, eggplant, roasted eggplant, and then lots of fresh herbs. He also gave us a little bit of onion on the side and this pepper, which I'm assuming is going to be really spicy, so I'm leaving that to Alan. Crunchy, filling. This is one of the most popular breakfasts here in Varanasi. I can see why. Also bright. This eggplant potato mix, the mash is so good, and this is just like a nice carrier of it. And I thought actually that dipping this in ghee would make it really too greasy, too heavy, but this is very, very light. This took too long to find, but it was totally worth it, just long enough. I would absolutely do this again. This is fantastic. I think what makes this great is there are so many flavors going on here. So you've got this roast eggplant, you've got these creamy potatoes, then you've got the mint chutney on top, then you've got spice on it.
And then you have this texture of this, like, it's almost like a hard roll. And so you just scoop up the hard, tasty roll, get all of that like eggplant, potato dip on it with the mint and the spice.
All right, we have to go check out of our hostel. So on this walk, which should be 5 minutes or less if we don't get lost, I just wanted to give you kind of the things that I love about this place and things that I had to learn to love. So the hardest part was actually the honking. It's just a lot. And I think because there's so many narrow alleys, it just echoes. And so that can be jarring if you're not used to it. It's a lot. But the people here have been amazing. Now, of course, a lot of people, because this is a tourist area, and so just like every other tourist area in the world, people are going to try to sell you things. Everybody's just trying to make a living. Everyone's just trying to survive. And so I think you go into it with a good attitude. Remember, the last couple years have been hard on people, and so when they see an opportunity to make money, to feed their family, to make a better living, they're gonna take it. But overall, I think people have just been really kind to us, been very helpful. And so it's been overall a really positive experience. And the food has been fantastic. I hope we can catch one more spot, but we'll see. We've only got a few hours left until we catch the train, so it will depend on how quickly we can get ready to check out, and then also if we need to relax, or if we can do just one more dish, which is supposed to be sweet and sour. And we are back outside. We hustled back to the hostel, packed in less than 10 minutes. Not the best packing, but we'll repack later. And then actually at the hostel, they gave us a really great recommendation for pan. So pan is one of the things I wanted to try the most. It's not sweet and sour. That's not the one I was talking about. But it's like in the Philippines, they call it betel nut. It is a plant that people chew on, and it gives energy. And so you might have seen it in other countries where people have red teeth because of it. So pan here, what they do is they wrap different things. So you can get it with tobacco, but they give us a recommendation for another place which is very well known. It's a whole little area, and they have sweet pan, so there will be sweet fillings. And they said you can get them from 30 rupees up to 300, but they think the sweet spot is probably 50, and you don't really need to spend 300 to get the best one. That 50 will get you a really good one. All right, last thing I'm going to have is pan. So I couldn't find baba pan, but I found gama pan, very popular. You can eat it two ways. This is the sweet one. You can eat the whole thing in your mouth, or you can have one with the tobacco. With the tobacco, you don't eat it, you spit it out. But they said to put all of this in my mouth and stick it to one side. I don't know if that's possible, but I can eat it. It's sweet and very refreshing. There's like mints in it. It's actually like a mouthwash in your mouth. I get a little bit of a toothpaste flavor. It's an interesting little thing to have. I think it's worth trying. This one is only 30. They can go up to 300. And then the leaf is the betel leaf, which often you see people eating in the Philippines, and when you spit it out, it's red. Anyway, I don't want to spit. I'm gonna spit into here to see if it's red. It's red. I'm not gonna spit on the street. That was interesting. Thank you for your help so much. This was a great way to end the time in this city. We are late for our train to Agra. So we gotta go. We're gonna get a rickshaw and take off. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time in Agra.
Join my Patreon community for more behind the scenes and exclusive content you won't find elsewhere. You can also find me on Instagram, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. All of these things make my day. Thank you so much for your support.